What's up, guys? It is the weekend, and I hope you are feeling fantastic. We gotta stay frosty, all right? And let's just be completely real. What is the number one thing that stresses you guys out, other than money? Other than money, what really gets on your nerves? What do you think is the number one thing that ruins your performance and causes you a lot of stress and anxiety? I would wager to say that it's probably the people you work with, your work environment, your living environment, the people you live with, or your school environment, maybe your class, your teachers, the pressure that you feel to perform at any one of these places. Guys, this is critical. The people that you work with become pretty much like your extended family. You don't want to hate your family. You don't want to go to work every day and hate clocking in, because it will become hell. And your business partner can become hell. Your family can become a living hell. Life is going to go downhill quick, and your performance is going to decline. When our brains are like fraggled like this, we're operating very low cognition. Okay, we're not able to perform at a high level, to think fast. Why? Because we're in this fight or flight stage. Our crocodile brain is just, if you get yelled at, what's the number one sign of a terrible boss? He fucking yells at you and he makes you feel like shit. There's no humor. He's arrogant. He's not humble. He just doesn't listen. But when he yells at you, dude, I had to leave that fucking place. But it wasn't even that. It was a number of things. But when he would yell at me, I could literally feel my brain, something in my brain would those, when you go to like a water wonder world and they have those giant buckets that fill up and they tip on the children, the hundreds of gallons of water. I felt like I had one of those in my head that was just tipping cortisol, and it was just streaming all throughout my head down into my body. It would affect the way I breathe. It would affect my energy. I literally felt like I had to go home after this. I couldn't do any more work. All right. So when that happened, when me and the one guy had a feud, when I was put under pressure to perform something and I didn't really feel competent, but I was just thrown in. That's like a child being called up for a pop quiz at school. How nerve-wracking. How nerve-wracking it is to just be put on the spot when you care so much about, being looked at like a fucking social idiot, like a clown, the clown of the class. Like you don't know your stuff. And so these circumstances can really wreak havoc on our self-confidence and also on our performance. I felt like I needed to go home. Eventually, when there was so much hate and confusion, there was this one coworker, he was slithering. He became a snake, dude. He was slithering all over that place, gulping up deals, stealing them. And I didn't have the nuts to call him out on it. Enough. Sometimes I would. I didn't have the kingliness. I didn't have the alphaness to settle the score and make things better, to bring that king energy, that okay, let's make things better. I want to treat you fairly. I want you to treat me fairly. We're in this. Let's fucking make it happen. And when I say alpha, I don't mean like some arrogant douchebag with a stick up his ass. I mean alpha is let's make things better. Being a leader and not a passive beta. All right, because look, you're going to perform terrible if you are getting in fights with your parents. You're probably not going to go to the gym. You're going to be miserable. You're going to eat junk food. You're going to probably be in a fucking garage playing video games. Like, I don't know, man. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy. So let me show you this quick chart. This is a inverted U chart. Looks like a giant wiener, all right? This, I'm gonna try to fit this in here. This is low stress. This is a high amount of stress. And on the high amount of stress, what sucks? Anxiety. This is where you experience a lot of anxiety. Okay, this is where you experience boredom. Now, this is the stress line, okay? This down here. This is your performance. Okay? That's why up here, this is the mushroom tip, dude, of peak performance. We're going to call this mushroom of peak mop. The mushroom tip of peak performance. All right? This is crucial because this is where you want to be. All joking aside, this is where you want to be, right on the tip of this inverted U. You don't want to be down here because you're bored, low stress, but not many people are here. This is like where you're in a cubicle, you're just fucking sitting back drinking a Slurpee. You're not really getting any work done, you're just bored. You're playing Tetris on your phone. This is no challenge, okay? I'm going to digress. I think why a walk is very good and gets your brain thinking and gets you out of this depression. Am I not spelling? Boredom. This is depression, apathy, no challenge. A walking is sort of a challenge. Now, it's sort of like it's a little bit stressful on the body. You got to move. So it's not like you just ran 20 miles because then that's like that's like you just ran 20 miles. You get a high. You get a dopamine, right? Big dopamine. But a walk forces your brain to sort of kick into gear. You're getting out in the world. You're experiencing new things. So that's a cool place to be, right? It's a little bit of stress. But what happens if you were to run 100 miles? Now that's a lot of stress, dude. You're down here and your body's about to give in. You're about to faint. That's like climbing a mountain and not having ropes or gear or climbing partner. This is the point of extreme decline in performance when we are challenged too much, when we're experiencing too much anxiety. Over here in the mushroom tip of peak performance, where we're cognitively efficient, functioning at a high level, you throw a problem at us, we're knocking that out, dude. We're knocking it out. This is no problem. This is where you get work done. This is where you sell fucking a house. You close house deals. You sell insurance. You're selling cars. You're making money. You're designing. You're creating. That's all up here. Doesn't live here. This applies to your day too. No challenge. Guess what? You're fucking bored. All right? Too much challenge. Too anxious. And that's just chaotic. This happens though when we fight with friends and family because that cortisol comes in and it fraggles our brain and it ruins us, dude. The croc brain kicks in. You cannot be performing at a high level up here if you are stressed and thinking about hate and anger and like you're in a hostile environment. You're going to be right down here, brother. You're going to be right down there just miserable. You're going to go into work and you're going to hate it and you're going to wonder what's wrong, and all you have to do is either leave. If it's at a point that you're leaving, you might have to just break it off, all right? Cut off the head. Or you might have to be a king. You might have to make peace. And you might have to bring that fertility to the group. That's becoming the alpha in the situation there. Because when things get far, man, sometimes, like I said, you just got to break off. But I think a lot of us could benefit from, we're working together in this, all right? Either you're going to treat me fairly, I'm going to treat you fair, all right? You're not going to yell at me. That's tough. You got a shitty boss, man. You might just want to find a new job, all right? But at your parents' house, treat your parents with respect. But also, don't let them, you got to sometimes stand up for yourself, all right? But do what it takes to make peace and continue to move on. You don't want to be fighting with your brothers and sisters every day, man. Figure that shit out, dude. If your sister has like bought a loaf, like a head of cabbage, and don't eat her fucking cabbage. Don't do those kind of things that are going to make everyone hate each other, all right? If you got roommates and stuff, figure that shit out because it sucks. Do the fucking dishes, man. I was bad at that. I lived with a bunch of roommates, wouldn't do the dishes. Then they don't do the dishes. Then they fucking hate each other. It's just make peace. Do what you can to make peace. there's so many situations, but I can think of family, work, and school. Right? Even the school environment is one of those places where when you're called upon to give that pop quiz, it's like getting hit with that. It can scare the shit out of you. All right, and that just comes with practice, bro. You're gonna get better. Girls, it's all practice. But remember, if you get to that peak, if you give yourself enough challenge, you can begin to live in that flow state, which is absolutely awesome. Don't get too bored. Don't go too quick. All right, that's it, man. I really felt like that needed to be addressed. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Peace.